Hello everyone, this is day 85, building a house every day for 100 days. Real quick before we get into this one, I just say this house was built live on my stream. So if you don't want to miss the next one, and if you want to maybe have some input on the next house, give some ideas, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I stream like every other day on here. So yeah, I'll link down below to like my Discord and stuff where I post like notifications. Let's get into the house here though. Had basically no plan going into this one, kind of as always recently. So I start with this kind of like cliff on the left side here. I know I kind of want like a structure, either one structure that goes between both parts or like two separate structures that kind of takes up both sections of it. But I just start with the cliff here, get this kind of like dirt overhang, and then start shaping the bottom. Building with stone at first, and I get this gradient. Pretty simple gradient here. Just like a small gradient, not too many blocks in it. I didn't want it to feel like too busy, so I just use cobblestone, stone brick, stone, and andesite. So get that in real quick. Mix some cobble in for the dirt. And it's cliff about done here. Put some rooted dirt and some hanging roots in as well. I just had to put a river in here. I'm just kind of planning it out where I want like the house to be and where I want the like river I put in. Planning it out so there's like a waterfall kind of to be at the like beginning of the plot. I guess like the front part of it. Texture the bottom of it. Fill it in with water. Get some seagrass and some pickles. Do the same thing to the bottom part. Simple landscaping stuff, kind of like small like kind of beach sections like where sand washed up or something. Get these two bridges in, start with the bridge on the bottom. And then do a similar one on the top. I just like this like waterfall thing was like an interesting chance to like, have two separate builds almost entirely. But like similar theme of course, but there's like two separate parts. I get started on what becomes an absolute nightmare in all honesty, which is this windmill. Which is at least what it is at first. As you probably saw from the thumbnail, I don't build a windmill in this. But I try. I definitely try. The circular shape was just not... It was just not working out for me, like at all. I struggled with this windmill for a very long time. So that's why you may notice this this build is actually sped up more than usual because I spent so long on it. So I'm building that, I look at these other houses I've built. If you like these other houses that you see here, for just $3 a month on the Patreon, you get access to, I believe it's 86 houses now, including today's. So, yeah, just $3, $8 if you want to request a build. But yeah, back to this nightmare. Trying to just make it look good, talking with like chat, people are giving ideas. Just is not. I'm not cooking. Let's be real. I'm just not cooking, and that's okay, They suggested dome shape. I try it. Just looks wrong. Look at all these amazing houses I built. Let's just ignore the windmill I'm currently working on. I've cooked before, not cooking here. It's a good time to say this house is dedicated to my newest Patreon member, USMCGuru. I appreciate it. If you want a house dedicated to you, $3. I finally just decided to completely scrap it. So I'm not building a windmill, or at least I'm not building a circular windmill. So then we enter stage 2 of this nightmare, which is whatever I'm doing here. I get this like 2 different layers of the foundation going, which is like actually a good idea. I do keep this idea all the way to the end, but yeah, I'm not cooking. I'm just not. Kind of an idea in my head that looked good, but I just couldn't translate it in game, like at all. Like my idea was to have this like left one, which with like a pretty steep point and like a windmill thing come out of it, and like the right one would just have a slope leading up to it. Just doesn't work. I just can't get the shape to look anything like I want it to in my head. Maybe the idea just wasn't meant to be. See, I messed around with this for like 5 hours, and yeah, I scrap it. Just not cooking. This was definitely like I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. Like the most scrapped stuff I've done in a build, probably. Like the least amount of time is spent on something that ends up in the actual end of it. Basically, at this point in the build, if I didn't build this whole like landscape and like terraforming stuff, I would have probably scrapped the entire thing and completely restarted. But I already had this out, and I was live when I was doing this, so I kind of just had to run with it. I finally have an idea in my head. Like I finally have like something that I think will look good. It's just like kind of a pretty standard house that has part of the foundation off the edge and like one part a bit lower. Just getting in the roof here. I'm finally actually liking the shape. Just getting these like roof sections in, the frames, filling the walls in as well. I don't know what block I'm gonna fill with yet. Someone in chat suggested that I use moss, kind of similar to I believe it was like day 53 or 52, one of those days, with like a moss roof. So I kind of decided to go for a similar theme here, but I figured I could do it better now. Like I feel like before when I built that, I wasn't as good as I am now. So I feel like I could, you know, do the idea more justice here. On the bottom layer, I go for this kind of like smaller building. As I'm building it, I already know that it's gonna be like a farm shed kind of thing with like a farm area on the bottom. So, you know, a smaller one. Filling the walls here, I decided to like make the walls flat because if I make it like, if I make depth in it, there's gonna be no inside. So the walls are flat and I have to do more work on like the texturing and like the outside details to make it look good. You know, if everything with trapdoors, mix in some other blocks, get a bunch of lanterns in. Put these like fences on the edge, just kind of helps like make the frame look kind of like, I don't know, just more like three-dimensional, I guess. I get the quick like paths in, one on the top, one on the bottom. Make this area on the left like farmland. You know, like fill it on wheat. You know, use world edit to grow it because my time is frozen in this world. Scarecrow, of course. Chat said to put a hat on it. Not sure exactly what kind of hat, so set on a flower pot. It's like hay bale cart, some sugarcane, some grass and ferns, like tall grass, some flowers in the flower pots and stuff. It's really about it for like the landscaping on the bottom part. Do some texturing on the foundation there. You can't really see it, but you know, I did do it. Start texturing the roof now, because you know I don't want the whole thing to just literally be moss. I want it to be like mossy stone and like, you know, kind of like a mix. And then put a bunch of like leaves and grass and like azalea. Just kind of make it overgrown. Pretty happy with how it looks. Do the same thing to the bigger section here. It takes a bit longer, but pretty happy with how it looks. Once I kind of like locked in and figured out what I wanted to do on this house, it like kind of came along like really easy. Like everything just kind of like came out naturally and it looks good. But yeah, it took a while to figure out what I wanted to do exactly. So, you know, that's why this video is, you know, 5 minutes of scrapped stuff at the beginning, but you know, looks pretty good now. I get some grass, like tall grass on the top, the windows in, like a door in the front. Then on the back, put some flower pots in. I like curve the foundation with stairs and trapdoors like I kind of usually do, honestly. Makes it look better. I just like the way it looks. Less like angular, I guess. You know, some flowers and stuff. Fill the flower pots up. Hang some flower pots as well. It's kind of the outside of the house done. Not really a whole lot left to do out here. A couple like small details. Put some like hanging leaves on the edge of the cliff. I can start with the interior. Just like simple like shed here. You know, a table, a bunch of chests, like just storage. You know, armor stands, some paintings, a couple like shelves with like chests on it. Obviously lanterns for light. Head into the main house here. It's a pretty small space because like a lot of this build is like landscaping and not the house itself. It's like lower area, I'm making like a dining space. Put a kitchen on this like higher part. Fridge, of course. It's a bit dark. I'll put lights in here in a second. Couple flower pots. You know, some paintings, a few lanterns for some light. I get a carpet in as well. That's about it for the bottom floor. Quick upstairs, nothing crazy up here. You know, bed, some bookshelves. Try to stay with like the green theme here. A lot of plants. Hang some lanterns and stuff up for some light, get some paintings. And yeah, that's really about it. Get a quick world tour here. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. Again, this house is dedicated to my newest patron, USMCGuru. I really appreciate it. If you want a house dedicated to yourself, it's just $3. $8 if you want to request a build. Yeah, I really appreciate the support on the series recently. There's a link to the Discord down below as well if you want to join. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.